This is Andy Purewal for Boxing Social in association with Betfred, and I'm delighted to be joined by one of the most decorated amateurs to come from Scotland. Oh, he might actually be the most decorated amateur
Yes.
from Scotland, Willy Hutchinson. Willy, first and foremost, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, pal. I'm good. I'm just like I was saying to you earlier, I'm fishing. It's the only thing to do, train and fish.
I was going to say, Willy, I never had you down for a man who likes to go fishing. How long have you been taking to it?
Since lockdown, to be honest with you, it's been the only thing I could do. I've just been doing bits of fishing and training. It's the only thing to do, innit? It's getting out the house and, yeah.
Talk to me about lockdown then. So what was you doing during like the heavier part of lockdown? Obviously, rules are being eased a little bit more now. Restrictions are being eased, and we're able to go back out a bit more and do different things. What was
That's right.
The high of lockdown though?
The higher lockdown, to be honest with you, I was back at home and I was just doing bits of runs, ticking over, keeping my fitness up. And obviously now I've been back here 4 or 5 weeks, and I've just been straight back into hard training. It was at the start of it was very, very hard, but there's nothing you can do. You just got to keep doing it. We're athletes, and we've got to stay in the gym. So I was just ticking over really until I come back.
What was you doing training wise then before you came back to Sheffield?
Yeah, I was running. The only thing I could do is run in shadowbox. It was the only thing to do. I was running in shadowbox and just stuff like that there, to be honest, bits of circuits and that.
So obviously you mentioned you came back 4 or 5 weeks ago. A lot of gyms were kind of opened up, probably was two and a half weeks ago now.
That's right. But when I come back, I didn't go straight into the gym.
Okay.
When I come back, because I went to my wife's mum and dad's place. And when I come back, I'll come to my own home. And I was just doing my runs then until things started to break up. And then we finally, like the past week or two, have been allowed in the gym.
So talk to me about returning to the gym then, Willy. How have you found kind of back in there and seeing the rest of the lads and the team?
Yeah, listen, it's a good feeling, especially when all of us is coming back and started training together. It's a good bit of crack, do you know what I mean? Obviously, everyone's doing their own thing, but it's a good laugh. And when we're all in the gym, we're all pushing each other, and it's good. It's good to see all the faces again. You don't understand how much you actually miss each other until you're gone.
Willy, obviously, we can come on to what you've got lined up or what you did have planned before lockdown in a little while, but something that we've never actually had a chance to speak to is your route into boxing, your background, something I've always been interested to ask you, particularly because you're such a successful amateur. Take me back to the beginning of your career, Willy. What's your earliest memory of boxing?
My what? My least?
Your earliest memory of boxing?
My earliest memory of boxing, I started going to boxing when I was 9. I went with my dad. My dad and one of my uncles was just doing a bit of training, to be honest with you. Not boxing training, just all the circuits and stuff. And I went then. And I just started boxing for a few months going, and I really, really liked it. I didn't really take much thought of boxing. I just thought I liked the gym. I don't know, running up and down, punching the bags, sparring, messing about. The only thing I wanted to do was spar. I was too lazy to do anything else. And I got a funny story to tell you. I was coming 10. I was 9 coming 10. I was in the boxing a few months and I wanted to box. And I told my amateur coach that I'm coming 11 so I could get my medical and fight. But I wasn't. I was coming 10. And so my dad's taking me, and my coach is telling me dad that I'm going to have a fight and this and that. And my dad didn't know the age like you could have a fight at, you know what I mean? So I'm getting all the way. So when I turned 10, I told my amateur coach, I says, that's me, I'm 11 now. I'll get my medical. And about 2 days before me get my medical, a man told me dad that I wasn't old enough. And my dad went to my coach and told him he isn't 11, he's 10. And then went from there to turning 11, get me medical, and then it all went from there. To be honest with you, the first year I entered the competition in Scotland, I won the Western Districts and Scottish title in the same year, and then the following year I become Western District, Scottish, and British champion, and then the following year the same again, and then the following year same again, and the following year. I become the Scottish, British, European champion. And then, just went from there to actually after the Europeans when I was 16, it all took off from there.
When did the kind of a point in the early stages of your boxing career come when you thought, I'm going to take this seriously, I'm going to go somewhere in my life with boxing?
Yeah. When I was 16, when I won the Europeans. I won the Europeans when I was 16. I think I'm right. Everyone else says it, as I was the first ever European champion for Scotland. And if I'm not the first, it's been a very, very long time since there was a European champion for Scotland. And really, it took off after there, to be honest. It was after the Europeans is when I thought I can probably do something with boxing here. And then, to be honest with you, the following year, later, I had a great start to a year to a bad end of the year. It was a bit of a weird year for me. It was 2015. I didn't have many fights, and just a few things was happening. And I don't know. I got another story. Exact the year before the World Championships, I told my granny and my amateur coach and my dad that I'd become Scotland's first ever amateur world champion. And I did. I done it. Exact a year. It was the end of 2015 is when I said it, and I'd done it in November 2016.
Obviously, a highly decorated amateur record with a tremendous amount of accomplishments and achievements. But what's it like when you're so young and you was able to travel the world with your friends to participate in various tournaments? And how do you kind of keeping your mind on the task at hand?
You know what it is? I'm going to be completely honest. You know, when I was going to win tournaments and I was boxing and that, it wasn't like keep my mind on it, to be honest with you. It was just happy-go-lucky. It was just, I don't know. When it come to my fight, this is God's honest truth, maybe an hour before my fight is when I zoned in, and that's when you know what I mean? Because the rest of the time, I was just enjoying it. I was just enjoying what was happening. And it's weird because when I think of it, like there's no, I don't know. It's just like an hour before, and then it's the will to win. You want to win, don't you? There's no worse feeling than losing, and it went like that there, to be honest with you. And when you go in tournaments and that there, it's very, very, it's a weird situation because the boxing team I was on, I grew up with most of the lads that was on it since I've been 11-year-old. I've been on the Scotland team since I was 11-year-old. I was on it for about 6-7 years with the same people. And at the end of it, I realised in myself that when you go in the competition, it's all about yourself. Don't worry about everyone else, because at the end of all this, it's all about you. And at the end of, that's what the biggest thing I learned is it's all about you. Don't worry of like what else is happening with other people, or he's done this or that's done that. You got to focus on yourself.
Obviously, talking about how you was able to kind of just tune in an hour before a fight and how you was able to enjoy the experiences that you had at the time. I imagine you have a few stories that you can share with us as to what you used to get up to away from fighting. Is there anything you can let us in on, Willy?
Say that again. Is anything what?
Any stories you can let us in on, Willy, that kind of went down away from fighting when you was abroad?
Listen, what happens abroad stays abroad. Listen, the boxing, when you was going over there, there's not much things to do. And to be fair with you, I was always making weight, so I couldn't really do much. But obviously, when you go away, it's a good laugh and that, you know what I mean? All the boys on the team doing things, and people's toothbrushes getting put in the toilet, and people's gum shields getting put in the toilet, and very bad.
Willy, we'll leave that there so I don't get you in trouble.
A good laugh though.
I can imagine. Obviously, moving on from that, there was a lot of hype around you before you turned over, and there was a lot of expectation. If you didn't, you'd have gone on to win a gold at the 2020 Olympics if you'd have stuck to that route. Why did you decide to turn professional before going down the route of Commonwealth Games or the Olympics and what have you?
Yeah. Well, to be fair with you, I never really, ever in my life, ever really wanted to be an Olympic gold medalist. I never had a dream or anything. I didn't even think of the Olympics, to be honest with you. And after I won the world championships, I thought, you know what I mean? Why wait for a year for that to happen? And it's probably the best move I've ever made, because if I stayed amateur, it would have been 5 years, because the Olympics is not happening this year. So I don't know, I never really thought of it. I just always wanted to be fair with you, I've always wanted to be a professional world champion before anything. That has been my dream since I've been 9-year-old, as I wanted to be a professional world champion.
We've seen kind of a bit of a trend over recent years. I don't know if it's a trend or it's just maybe been reported more in the media, but we're seeing a lot more people who are similar age to yourself when you turn professional, turning over from amateur to professional. Why do you think we're seeing people turn over at a younger age?
I don't know. Just everyone's got their own thing, haven't they? They've all got their own. I don't know. I don't actually know. I got a great opportunity with the team I got, and I took it with both hands. And obviously, I just took it with both hands, and everyone's got their own different way, haven't they? Some people turn professional because they maybe need some money. Some people turn professional because, I don't know, amateurs they're not doing great today, or you know what I mean? It's all different. Loads of people's got all the different their own reason. So but there's a lot of young boxers turning professional now. I think it's the best thing to do. I think if you leave it too long, I think it's not a good move. I don't think.
When you turned professional, how did you find the transition from amateur to professional style?
To be honest with you, I didn't find it hard. I didn't find it hard at all. I think I've got a professional style. And I didn't really find it hard at all, to be fair. I just got straight into it. It's just the rounds, isn't it? It's just the rounds. You've got to do the rounds. But I'm young, I'm fit, and
When you're going through that period of turning over, you've ended up with Dominc Ingle now. Why Dominc? Who else was you kind of training with, and what in particular about Dominc stood out for you that made you think he's the guy who can coach me and take me to where I want to with my career?
Yeah. When I first went professional, there was a coach called Salas helping me do a bit of training, but we didn't really do a lot of training, to be honest. And there was a German guy, Mirko Wolf. He was actually a scout at the World Championships. He was the one that rung me and actually got everything done for me. And he was helping me from the first 2 fights. And then it just went from there, to be honest with you. And my coach said, who would you like to train with? Sorry, not my coach, my manager, Shelly. He said, who would you like to train with? And Dom, I always wanted to be coached by Dominc Ingle. I just thought I still think now he's one of the best coaches in the world. That's the reason why I wanted to go with him.
What sticks out for Dom for you when you're working with him, or when you see him working with others, or you've seen him working with people in the past? What stuck out for you about Dominc?
With me, it's a fella who takes care of me and looks for the best interest for myself. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know, he looks after me, takes care of me, and gets all my trainings all lined up, and it's just all weird things, but it's a thing what makes him stand out to me, you know? It's a thing what makes him stand out to me, and
When you was going to turn over, obviously I can imagine you had a number of people attempting to sign you, whether it be managers, trainers, everybody kind of work with you.
Yeah.
What was that kind of period like? Are you such a young lad with so much pressure on your shoulders, knowing that you needed to make the correct move at such an early stage of your life? What was that kind of period like?
You know what it was like? You know, obviously when I won it, there was loads of people wanting to sign me. There was loads of this and that, loads of people. And to be honest with you, my whole life I've always been lucky, go happy, my whole life. And when all that was happening, to be fair with you, I wasn't even really overthinking anything. I was actually, when Shelly rung, I didn't even know who it was. I was in the fish and chip shop with my granddad and me and my mum, and I'm eating my fish and chips, and I go, hello, and he starts talking like that there. And I didn't have a foggy. I didn't have a clue. So I says, he's my granddad. And I carried on eating my fish and chips. And my granddad goes out, and my granddad comes in. He says, do you realise who was on the phone? I says, no, who is he? And my granddad told me like who he was. So yeah, yeah, it wasn't really, I don't know, I didn't really put much thing on my shoulders. I didn't really think of it, to be honest. Just let my dad and my granddad sort it out for me.
Obviously, from
And stuff
listening
like that.
to you now, Willie, it sounds like you've got such a supportive family, and a
Yeah,
family who's obviously very knowledgeable of the boxing world.
yeah.
How key do you think that has been for you and your career so far?
What, my family?
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing. I believe if you ain't got your family behind you, it's a very, very hard path, because if I never had my family, I don't think I would have done what I've done, to be honest. I've got a fantastic family around me, and my dad, and like my granny and granddad and stuff like that there. And also now, like my manager and my coach and stuff, but my family, honestly, my family does things for me no one else would. And like I say, I just got married and stuff with my wife. It's family, and I need my family. I'm a very, very family-orientated person. I love my family.
Let's obviously get into the here and now then, Willie, and talk about what you did or didn't have lined up. Obviously, last time I saw you, you obviously boxed on the Foster Reed 2 undercard.
Yeah,
Successful there with a points victory. Reflect
yeah,
on that fight for me, Willie, because I remember at the time you was happy you got the win, but you felt you could have done better.
yeah, yeah. Of course I could have. I should have. But
Yeah.
in my eyes, I didn't box great, to be honest with you. But listen, I got the win, and it's obviously it was on for bigger and better things. I'm moving down in weight. I'm coming to super middleweight, and for that fight for me, well, as you can tell, I didn't. I thought it was. I didn't like it anyway. And the same fella shouldn't have went 2 rounds with me. But it's part and parcel of boxing, isn't it? And as long as I got the win, that's the main thing.
I mean, that's something I want to ask you about. Obviously, early stages of somebody's career, whether it be you or anybody else, when they're turning professional, you all have to go through this process of either fighting, journeymen, guys who are used to going rounds before, or people have a similar record to yourself, a before and 5-0, just building a way up. They're the type of fights which tend to be made at such an early stage of your career.
Yeah.
What do you take from it?
Yeah. Sorry?
What do you take from these fights?
You know what it is? These fights, it's obviously all learning. I've had 11 professional fights now, and it's just all learning, getting the rounds in and stuff. And obviously, I've had a few good scraps, but the time you really will see me is when my step up is made and I fight someone undefeated or someone as good as myself, as that's when I'll shine. I've done it my whole life. Do you know what I mean? Man, I can remember entering. Listen to this. In 2016, and this is no word of a lie, I boxed in the Scottish finals, my national finals in Scotland. If you can't win a national in Scotland, you're better off packing in boxing. And I swear to God, if this lad had any heart at all, he would have stopped me. I made weight wrong. I'd done it all wrong. And I swear to God, this little boy would have beat me that day. And the same year, I ended up becoming amateur world champion. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. You're back now.
And the same year, I ended up becoming amateur world champion. It's when the step-up's made is when I believe I'll shine. Do you know what I mean? Listen, I've shined a few in my professional fights, but I haven't been 100% of what I know I can do.
You've mentioned this drop to super middleweight, and I've asked you about it before, but now you've had lockdown and time away from the gym. How do you think you're going to find kind of dropping back down now, knowing that before lockdown you was working towards it?
Yeah, listen, I'll make it. You know what I mean? I'm 21. It's not like I'm 31. I'm 21. I'm young. If I can't make 12 stone, there's something that's up with me. You know what I mean? I need to stop eating. You know my problem? That's my problem. I need to stop eating. Simple.
Well, that's not. That's unfortunately nothing that I can do to help you there with Willie.
No,
diet isn't good.
No, that's right. But listen, it's boxing, man. You know what I mean? It's part and parcel of the boxing, isn't it? You got to make weight and you got to do it. But when I make it, and obviously it's either be the end of this year, the start, and next year that it'll be positive for me.
I remember after the Foster Reed fight, obviously another fight on that card was Umar Sadiq versus Cody Davis. You said you'd be happy to face the winner of that. Umar Sadiq was the victor on the night. Is that a fight you're interested in, about with Umar Sadiq?
Of course it is. Listen, anyone at super middleweight, It wouldn't bother me who it is. Anyone in Britain, I'd box. Obviously, the top three, I think, is world champions if I'm sure it's super middleweight. So I can't. I've had 11 fights. Do you know what I mean? How can I start saying anything like that? But at the stage I'm at, and lads at the same stage as me, it's going to happen. But I've just got to leave it to my team. I'll fight anyone. Anyone it is, I'll fight. There's not a problem. I wouldn't be shouting at anyone. I have no disrespect for anyone at my weight. They've got where they are just now. They haven't got there for nothing. Do you know what I mean? They've obviously been doing their own thing, but when they come up to me, I'm going to give them an ass whooping.
Another thing I was going to ask you about is obviously titles. How far off do you feel you are from challenging from your first title?
I don't know. If I'm going to tell you the complete honest truth, I don't know. I just got to leave it with my team, like I said, and just keep going forward and take it fight by fight.
You mentioned moving forward and taking it fight by fight. We're obviously expecting behind closed door shows to take over UK sport for the foreseeable future, at least, for the coming months, I should say.
Yeah.
Is that something you're interested in, fighting behind closed doors?
Of course it is. You know what I mean? Of course it is. I'll fight anyway. Honestly, I would literally fight in my garden around the back of the house, not a problem. Get a ring in there and I'd fight in there. It wouldn't bother me if there's anyone there, if there's thousands there. It's the same thing. You're only there and I'm there to win. It's as simple as that. Do you know what I mean?
What has Frank said to you about possibly fighting behind closed doors? Have you had any interaction about shows coming up?
To be honest with you, I've left it all with my manager, Shelly Finkel, and he's just taking care of everything and I'm just staying in the gym. I'm staying in the gym and that's all I'm doing for the time being, to be honest.
Willy, obviously, just before I let you go, a few people, a few fights to get your thoughts on. Obviously, we know you're training up in Sheffield at the Ingle gym, the famous gym, the Winker Bank.
Yeah.
We've got Kell Brook. There's a lot of talk about as to what he will be doing when he comes back. Has he been with yourselves? If so, how's he been looking?
Kel's been in the gym and stuff. Yeah, he's looking good. Everyone's looking good, man. They're all in the gym, and we're all still working. You know what I mean? He's been looking good, looking sharp. There's nothing. I've seen him a couple of times in the gym since I've been back, but you know what I mean? It's just like ticking over, isn't it, till you get a fight there.
Liam Williams, another man who's obviously eager to make good of his WBO mandatory position.
My brother from another mother. Yeah.
Go on and talk to me about that then, Willie. It seems like you've got a great relationship.
He is a machine. He's well named the machine, isn't he? He's a great person to look up to in boxing too for me. Obviously, I stayed with him for, 12 or 16 months, and we come very, very close, aren't we? You know, we're like the Chuckle Brothers, aren't we? We're like the Chuckle Brothers. We come close, and he's in the gym with me, and it's a good crack with me and him. Do you know what I mean?
I take it by the sounds you and him get up to what you used to on the Scotland days.
That's right. Yes, that's right. The only thing is that if it gets too far, me and him will just come head to head, and it's not a good combination.
Who makes the tea?
Oh, him, Liam, innit? He's the dad of the relationship. Like he makes a tea. Sometimes I got to wash the dishes and that, but he takes care of that. You know what I mean? Looked after me, washing me washing. I've got a wife now. I've got a wife that does that now for me. Yeah. He was my wife.
I was going to say, from the sounds of it, he must not be best pleased about that.
No. Nah, it was all right. It was good. It was very good. Just
to move away from Liam then, Willie, a couple more fights. Obviously, a former campmate of yours, Billy Joe Saunders, was due to face Canelo. Obviously, everything's been put on hold now because of lockdown and what have you. If we was to see Canelo, Billy Joe when boxing returns, how do you think the fight plays out?
I've said it once and I'll say it again. I think Billy Joe's the only man in the world that can beat Canelo. 100%. I think he would outbox Canelo and beat him. I think he's the only person on earth that could beat him.
In the past week or so, in the past week or so, two other names that have come out for Canelo, Sergey Trinko and Anthony Durrell. What are your thoughts if Canelo was to face one of those two?
I don't actually know, to be honest. They're good fights, aren't they? They're very, very hard fights. The only one I'm positive on is Billy. They're good hard fights for Canelo, aren't they?
Final thing, Willie, before I let you go. Obviously,
Yeah.
last week it came out that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua had agreed financial terms in principle to a 2-fight deal in 2021. What were your thoughts when you heard the news?
The thoughts I heard the news is, yes, the Gypsy King, up the boy. I believe Tyson will complete and annihilate Anthony Joshua. There's no disrespect to Anthony Joshua because an Olympic gold medalist, world champion, he's, you know what I mean? He's done his part as well. I just think that Tyson's just a few leagues in front of him. 100%.
Willie, we will leave up there now, and I will leave you to enjoy the rest of your fishing trip.
Enjoy my fishing.
Before you do go over, what would you like to say to everyone who tunes in to watch our interview?
Everybody just tune in, enjoy it, follow the hurricane, and just enjoy it. Stay safe, stay at home, save lives, and watch the Hutch train when he's boxing on telly. The Hutch train, the hurricane. I've got that many, I don't know what one I am.
Willie, it's been a pleasure to catch up with you. Stay safe.
See you later,
I'll
well,
hopefully see you soon. Thank you for speaking to Boxing Social.